Hello, everyone out there in the Sacred Planet community. I am Jocelyn Starfeather, and I recorded this video earlier today, March 11th, as part of teaching a class in the Radical New World Building Group, one of the programs that I run. And it's such an important astrology update that I wanted to share it with all of you out there in the Sacred Planet community. I haven't had as much time lately to create the YouTube astrology readings as I love to do. I will get back to them more as soon as I can. But for now, I wanted to give you this partial recording of this class in which I go over all of the really amazing transits we have coming up in March and April. There are some incredibly important ones for you to know about. It's so important to be aware of these transits, to understand the energetics that we'll be moving through so that you can flow with them, so that you can utilize them to your highest benefit and really receive the gifts of these transits. So I hope you will enjoy watching this little sampling of what we do in the Radical New World Building Group and enjoy this astrology forecast for March and April 2024. So much love, and I'll see you again soon. Wow, we are in such a powerful time, everybody. We are coming into we're already well into March, but we're coming into this time period where the Jupiter and Uranus conjunction that's happening right in the middle of April is so strong, and it's getting stronger. And this is the energy of expect the unexpected and expect surprising new delights and miracles and surprising new ways that the universe is going to be putting us on our highest path. So I invite you all to really lean into that. I'm going to give you an astrology update today, which will help you to feel into all of the transits that are happening as we lead into the Jupiter and Uranus conjunction, because they're all so important. These transits in March and April are just so important, and they're going to be really strong for us. And the invitation is to lean in, to engage with them, right? Not to try to hide from the energies, not to try to turn away from them, but to really turn toward them and welcome in all of the miracles, the new developments, the exciting breakthroughs, the things that will be coming through for us. This is such an exciting time. I just can't, I can hardly even put it into words how exciting it really is. So I want to welcome you all. I want to invite you to light your sage and Palo Santo. And actually, let me go get my Palo Santo. I'll be right back with that, or a candle, whatever you have. And so let us open our sacred space together today with joy, with a smile in our hearts and on our faces, and with knowing that it is such an honor and a privilege to be alive at this time. It is just an incredible blessing. And I know it's not easy, right? And we're going through it. We've been through really, difficult challenges over these past few years. And I'm sure each of us could say which year's been the most challenging. Like I know for me, 2022, hands down, that was really hard. And into 2023. And some may be going through that really difficult time right now. And I just want to invite you into a really deep trust in the whole process, wherever you are in that process. And I'm going to be sharing this beautiful Palo Santo smoke with you and figure eights to open this space together. So wherever you are, if you're in a bright and shiny time, if you're in a dark night of the soul, really trust and know this is such an incredible time to be alive. And all of the ups and downs and the intensity of it are our magic breaking through. This is our magic coming back. As our magic returns, as our knowing of our true powers and our true capabilities return to us, it can't be all just light-filled and perfect, right? The magic includes everything. The magic includes every aspect of life, every aspect of the alchemical journey. And so we're being invited to welcome all of that magic in, to really embrace all of the magic, because even the challenging times are for a reason. They're for deep and meaningful reasons, and they're to get us to the place that we need to be, right? So the more that we can trust and surrender, the more we can receive those gifts, the sooner we can receive those gifts. And it's all part of this great, great magic that is unfolding in our world today. Okay, so let's dive into the astrology updates. I will share that with you now, and then we will move into sharing and questions and coaching and whatever you all need. And I will, at some point today, I'm going to make recommendations for an equinox ritual for all of you. We have the equinox coming up on March 19th. So I think it will be March 20th in some locations. So March 19th and 20th. It's a powerful astrological lineup for the equinox as well, of course. So let's dive right in and we'll look at all of that. Okay, so just to note, we are continuing on the topic of ease, flow, abundance, and beauty with Venus in Pisces, plus our equinox celebration. And Venus moves into Pisces today, March 11th. So we are going to begin receiving all the beauty and the blessings of that transit very soon here. I will just mention these briefly once again. If you've been wanting to go to Egypt with me, actually now there are 2 times in 2025 that are going to be on the calendar soon, officially, to go to Egypt with me. One will be in April 2025, and this is going to be so special and very unique and different. It will be with Patricia and other leaders. And then in autumn, and we don't have even the month exactly figured out yet, but in autumn 2025, Patricia and Stephen Mailer and I will do a tour together in Egypt, which is going to be completely amazing. Stephen Mailer, I recently did an interview with him. Check it out on my YouTube channel if you haven't seen it yet. He's amazing. And he and Patricia were the two, or are the two, main students of Hakeem Abdel Alyan, the indigenous wisdom keeper that you'll see in the Pyramid Codes documentary. They both learned from him. And it's so interesting now that I'm learning from both of them. They each bring this unique perspective on what Hakeem shared. It's just amazing. So that tour with the 3 of us will be in autumn of 2025. So save those dates, see which one feels right for you. April 2025, autumn 2025. It's going to be so amazing. And actually now this is 2, we have 2 spaces left. I will update that on the slide right now. Soulful Summit Creation Mentorship. Okay, so for those of you who are called to bring your voice, your message, your mission out to the world in 2024 or 2025 in a new and bigger way than you've done before, this is an incredibly sacred feminine form of marketing and getting your work out to the world in a way that feels really good, that is of great service to the awakening that's happening on our planet, that helps and uplifts thousands and thousands of people as your event happens, and that really brings you into an incredible place of confidence and clarity about your own work and your own capabilities, your own ability to create your life and your business in the way that you want. It puts the reins in your hands. It shows you your power. And so I strongly invite you, if you're feeling even a little bit called to this, let's chat. And if you go to this link, I'll put this in the chat here. If you go to this link, you can read all about the program. And you can fill out the form if you would like to have a 30-minute conversation with me. There's an application to ask for that 30-minute time slot, and we can get on the phone or on Zoom and chat about your unique situation. And I'll let you know if I think this is a good choice for you at this time. So really sense into that, all of you amazing spiritual entrepreneurs, right? If you know it's time, this is an amazing, incredible way That really works. It's very consistent. The results are very consistent. You can read all those results on the page here when you click on that link. So you are invited into this incredible space of creation. Okay, so let's say the alchemical prayer together 3 times. Again, always putting your hands up toward the sun, wherever the sun is in your location. Dear universe, please send me all of the things that I need and most deeply desire that I do not even yet know are possible. Dear universe, please send me all of the things that I need and most deeply desire that I do not even yet know are possible. Dear universe, please send me all of the things that I need and most deeply desire that I do not even yet know are possible. Oh, and so it is. Blessed be. Welcoming miracles into our lives. So we have some truly incredible astrological transits coming up. Now, as I am recording this video on March 11th, we just had the new moon in Pisces yesterday, early in the morning, New York time. And so we're still in the energy of this as we're meeting today. All right, so this is with the sun and moon at 20 degrees of Pisces. And the sun and moon in Pisces are right between Saturn and Neptune. This is interesting. Okay, Saturn's at 11 degrees of Pisces, sun and moon at 20, Neptune at 27. This is really interesting because we have an extremely important transit coming up in February 2026, which will be Saturn conjunct Neptune at 0 degrees of Aries, the first degree of the entire zodiac. So this new moon is already pulling at joining them together. It's already giving us a glimpse and a look at what that time, February 2026, might feel like. And this new moon is drawing on the energetics of Saturn, which is stability and structure and slowness, taking our time. And this is all in service of building a really strong, stable foundation, but also bringing in the energetics of Neptune, which is about our imagination, our dreams, our visions. So this is, again, as so many of the transits have been saying to us, it is time to build our dreams into reality. This is a consistent message that the cosmos is giving us again and again and again at this time. It is time to build your dreams into reality. So if you thought your dreams were too out there, too big, too crazy, they're not. It is all accepted in Pisces and with Neptune watching over. And if you don't know how to structure it, if you don't know how to build it or what step to take first, ask Saturn. He always knows the answers to those questions. So this is an incredible opportunity, and we're still tapping into this today, tomorrow, the next day. We're still in that new moon energy to connect with both Saturn, structure, and Neptune, vision, and bring them together to create your intentions for the next month, or I would say even the next year. So keep in mind that Pisces is this very creative space. It is the water element. The water is the womb, the birthing space, the creation space. And Pisces includes every possibility in all dimensions. Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac, and it includes everything in all the previous ones, but expanding it into the creative potential of all that we can do, all that we can be, all that we can create. So this is a very creative new moon, a very generative new moon, really an amazing time to dream big and take your first step of building, or your second or your 10th, right? Take a step toward really building. This new moon is in relationship with Uranus. It is sextile to Uranus. And so that brings in surprises. Now, Uranus is very heavily involved in almost every transit we have in March and April 2024, and that's no mistake, because we are being called to do things in a surprising new way. Uranus is about surprises, breakthroughs. Uranus is the higher mind, the insights that come down, that get downloaded into us from the cosmos. And then we see things in a completely different way. It's life-changing, life-altering. And Uranus is the planet that stands for our freedom and our liberation. So the sextile is a positive aspect, right? So our freedom, our liberation are going to be on our mind. We're going to see new pathways opening toward those themes. And we're going to realize surprising new understandings of who we really are and what we're here to do. Now, also, Mars is square to Uranus. So Mars is in Aquarius, squaring Uranus in Taurus. And this is a more challenging piece. This is some conflict or some chaos or maybe some aggression of some sort that is going up against your need to be free, that is going up against your need to surprise yourself by creating the new. So whatever that is, a square is always a challenge that's actually an opportunity, but that can seem really difficult. So if there's a challenge that you're feeling right now, lean into that as well. Ask it questions. What are you? Why are you here? Why are you bothering me? What do you mean in my life? And get down to the root of it, because there's important information there that you need to know to help you fully claim that freedom. Now, Venus is still very close to Mars. Venus is still, Venus is at 0 degrees of Pisces starting today, but in finishing up the final degrees of Aquarius as well. So Venus is co-present and softening this, all right? Now, Venus is moving into Pisces today. I have more about that on the next slide. Also, in addition to all of this that I already said, all planets are direct. All planets are moving direct. So this is an amazing new moon to plant your visionary and creative seeds for the future. Let yourself be surprised by your visions, your imagination, the transmissions coming through. And then work with Saturn. How can I take one step toward this? How can I take another step toward it? What is the structure? Really lean into it now with all of this creative energy. Then let's talk about Venus in Libra. So Venus, I'm sorry, this should say Pisces. Let me just fix that real quick on the slide. Libra is another good sign for Venus, but that's not where she is right now. Venus is in Pisces. So Pisces is the sign of exaltation for the planet Venus. And she will be there from March 11th to April 4th. So this is an amazing energetic over the next 3 weeks that we're going to be feeling. Venus in Pisces is about the beauty, ease, and flow of the true sacred feminine. Now, Pisces is very much about surrendering into the all, surrendering into the oneness. And so we don't want to make things too structured at this time. This is really a time to be in flow, to be in grace, to be trusting. If your schedule gets rearranged, just breathe into it. It's okay. It's actually meant to be. It's all in divine timing. If you feel that you need more time for retreat and rest or sleep or reading an amazing book during this time or sitting out in the sun during this time, allow yourself to have that gift. This is Venus coming in and saying, be in the flow of the moment, and all of your force of creation within you can then expand. She's coming in to expand our creative and visionary ideas. She brings abundance much more easily flowing into our lives. So the more that we can surrender into the moment, be fully present to the beauty that's around us, be fully present to our dreams and our meditations, the more we can receive from Venus on this transit. So as Venus travels through Pisces, she's going to also be connecting the dots between Saturn and Neptune. So Venus will come to be conjunct with Saturn on March 21st and 22nd. And then she'll be conjunct with Neptune on April 3rd and 4th. So just like the Pisces new moon that we just had, Venus is holding and amplifying and tying the golden threads together between the energetics of both of these planets, right? And again, I just can't say enough that the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in February 2026 is going to be huge for us. And we're going to be feeling that energy a lot all throughout 2025 because they'll be very close together. So this is already leading into that and saying, here's the next level of what's possible. So miracles and moments of great beauty are readily available to us while Venus is in Pisces. So give yourself a lot of space and lots of time immersing in the Piscean imaginal realms. Really let yourself travel out to other dimensions. Invite in new guides that you might have never known before who are going to help you just open your heart and your mind to new realities. And enjoy all the beauty that's just the sun shining through the trees, you know, the birds singing and playing outside. There's so much beauty around us. Really just pause again, pause again, and enjoy all these blessings. Okay, so for the equinox, this will be on March 19th at 11:07 p.m. New York time. So if you are east of New York, if you're in Europe, UK, Africa, it will be on the 20th, March 20th for you. So this is the moment that the sun moves from 29 degrees and 59 minutes of Pisces to 0 degrees and 0 minutes of Aries, 11:07 p.m. New York time. So at that moment, the sun and moon are trine, and this will be the first quarter moon, almost exactly. And this is with the sun at 0 degrees of Aries, the moon at 3 degrees of Leo. So this highlights the fire signs. This is highlighting the rising energy of fire. And so in the northern hemisphere, I know most people in this class are in the northern hemisphere, we're feeling that rising fire energy of the springtime, right? Things coming back to life, the flowers coming up from the land, the sun finally feeling a little closer, a little warmer. So really soak that in, really let yourself feel the fire of the world at this time in a positive way. And then we have this interesting conjunction at the time of the equinox with the North Node and Chiron already pretty much conjunct. They're coming out of their conjunction, but the North Node is at 15 degrees of Aries, Chiron is at 18 degrees, and Mercury will be right in the middle between them at 17 degrees of Aries. So this is about our communications and our expression of how we are moving forward from what we learned in February. Because remember, the whole month of February, the North Node and Chiron were conjunct. There's a lot of healing happening, new understandings coming through. So this equinox is an amazing time to reflect on what did happen for you in February. What was important? What are you taking away from that? What new learnings? And then how do you want to express yourself, your newly healed version of you in your life at this time? Connecting in with Mercury. Maybe you do some journaling about this. Journaling is a wonderful Mercurian practice Maybe you do some toning or you go out and sing on the land. Mercury is the throat chakra, right? So it's very healing to make the sounds, right? Toning, or singing or chanting. You can chant Om. You can chant the different tones of the chakras or whatever moves in you, right? But I invite you to really work with your throat chakra on this equinox because Mercury holds this pivotal point to help us express and claim this new level of healing that we've reached through the North Node and Chiron conjunction all throughout February. Saturn and Venus will be pretty much conjunct. Saturn's at 12 degrees and Venus is at 10. So Venus is applying to Saturn. She's very close to him, and they're both sextile to Jupiter and Taurus. So this is all really positive. The sextile between Saturn and Jupiter helps us to build in an expansive way, create structures that will be expansive for us in our lives. And then Venus coming into the picture there is adding, and Venus in Pisces, no less, is adding her ease and flow and grace and beauty to what we're planning and the structures that we're laying the foundation for. So that is wonderful. And then Jupiter and Uranus are really close, really getting close to their conjunction at this point. They're only 6 degrees apart. I'll tell you more about that conjunction in a minute. That is pivotal, and this equinox is part of the building energy as we build toward that Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. Now, the sun is sextile to Pluto on the equinox, which is very positive. So that's enhancing our power, enhancing our ability to rebirth from whatever initiations we've been going through. Now, the moon, though, is opposing Pluto, and that's more difficult. So with the moon opposing Pluto, we could feel difficult emotions. We might be teary on this day. We might feel pulled back into some part of the initiation that we thought we had completed. The important thing to know if you start to feel these kinds of difficult emotions on the equinox is this is a short transit. The moon will only be opposing Pluto really just for a few hours. You know, you might feel it throughout this one day and then it will be done. So again, lean into it. Ask your emotions. What are you trying to tell me? Always our emotions. So the moon represents our emotions and how we feel safe. Our emotions are always telling us something, some wisdom from deep within the body that our mind does not fully understand yet. And the emotions are how the body communicates that. So we never want to ignore the emotions. So if you have some uprising of emotions around this equinox time, really pay attention, lean into it, ask your body, what is the message? What do I need to know about this? How can I work with this in a positive way? And it will give you information that you didn't realize was inside of you. So, very powerful day, this equinox on March 19th. Okay, a little bit more because we have 2 eclipses. We have 2 eclipses coming up. Again, all of these transits are building toward the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. It is no mistake that all of these are happening in sequence, very fast sequence, because the pace is picking up, the possibilities are expanding, and all of these transits are giving us like opening doorways, opening portals to new possibilities that then Jupiter and Saturn, or Jupiter and Uranus, are going to be bringing through when they have their conjunction in the middle of April. And with them being in Taurus, Jupiter and Uranus are going to put those new possibilities in front of us in a very realistic way, a very concrete and grounded way. But I'll say more about that in a minute. Let's talk about the eclipses first. So we will have a full moon lunar eclipse in Libra, March 25th. just a note first about eclipses in general. Eclipses are pivotal moments in our evolution, both personally and collectively. Most years we have 4 eclipses, 2 pairs of 2. As a side note, in 2020, we had 7 eclipses that year. Isn't that interesting? I remember seeing that coming in like 2019 and thinking, what in the world is happening? And wow, it was really something, right? But this year we just have 4, so that's good. Now, typically what we see with eclipses is something new drops in, right? Something new is dropped into your life during the 2-week eclipse window. Something new can also be dropped in the collective during this 2-week eclipse window. The thing is, you may or may not realize that it dropped in. It might be something really big and dramatic that you notice right away, or it might be something that is very subtle, yet is changing everything, okay? And you realize 6 months later, oh my gosh, that's when that got started, right? It was during that eclipse window. So, it's important to keep that in mind. Sometimes it's really subtle, sometimes it's really obvious, but something new will drop in. And then it takes about 6 months to be fully realized or for the changes to fully root into your life. And 6 months from now, we'll have the second eclipse window, okay, in 2024, which will be September 18th to October 2nd. But don't worry about that time for now. Let's focus on now. So for this full moon lunar eclipse, the sun will be at 5 degrees of Aries, the moon will be at 5 degrees of Libra. This is a south node eclipse because the south node's in Libra, but the south node is about, I think it's 8 to 10 degrees away from the moon. So it's not super strong with the south node. The sun is sextile to Pluto and the moon is trine to Pluto. So those are both favorable aspects. This eclipse is working very favorably with Pluto in Aquarius, bringing in the new Aquarian energies, helping us to find our power in this new world, this radical new world. Jupiter and Saturn continue to be sextile, which is very positive and favorable. And Venus and Mars are both now in Pisces at this moment because Mars will move into Pisces on March 22nd. So they will be sharing the same sign again when this eclipse happens. Now, interestingly, Venus at 16 degrees of Pisces will be opposing Black Moon Lilith at 19 degrees of Virgo. And this is one of the things that really stood out to me when I look at any chart, whether it's a birth chart or a transit chart, there's something that's just shining. It's like it has a glow around it on the chart. And this is what it was. This is really important. So this is like the sacred feminine, Venus and Black Moon Lilith. And they're both in relationship to Uranus, a sextile and a trine. So this is highlighting a revolutionary, rebellious feminine energy that is anchored in the higher mind and liberating presence of Uranus. This is really an amazing, amazing eclipse. And this is one of those differences that I see as I look at these transits for 2024. It's not that we don't have any difficult ones. There are more difficult transits at certain points in the year. But this eclipse is just amazing. It's really beautiful. Really beautiful energies, very different from the eclipses we've had in the last few years. So this is a day to really allow yourself to feel your power. I would say have conversations with Pluto on this day and Black Moon Lilith. And both of those stand so strongly for our power. And Venus is there holding space again with her ease and grace and flow. Venus is so pivotal to many of these transits in March and April. She's holding the balance. She's holding the peace and the calm as we go through all of these upgrades. It's really incredible. This revolutionary rebellious theme is something we're going to see again and again throughout this year. It's all orbiting around that Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. And Jupiter and especially Uranus are so key to so many of the transits this year. So this is the year to be a rebel. This is the year to be a revolutionary. Bring it through. Bring it through now, guys. It is the time. I know that's why you're all here in this class as we build the radical new world together. Okay, so this is huge. This eclipse, new moon, solar eclipse in Aries on April 8th. Now, this is the one that in the US, many places in the US will be able to see this eclipse either partial or in its totality, depending on where you are, all throughout North America. So when an eclipse is visible, it's important. It's going to have a stronger effect on us. So the sun and moon will be together at 19 degrees of Aries, exactly conjunct Chiron. Chiron is no stranger to us. Chiron is not some new unfamiliar energy we don't know about. We've been working with Chiron intensively since the beginning of the year, and particularly in February. So we're already familiar with what Chiron means for us at this point in time. That's why it's really important to take the time in March, like I said, around the equinox, to reflect on what did February mean for you, because you get to reach a new level of evolution around all of it here, okay, in this eclipse window, and particularly around April 8th. Now, this is a North Node eclipse, which is very positive. The North Node is at 15 degrees of Aries. Sun, Moon, and Chiron are at 19 degrees of Aries. So really all four of those are conjunct, although the North Node's a little bit 4 degrees away. But the North Node is bringing in the energy of our future, our destiny, our purpose, what our souls are pulling us toward and calling us toward for the highest frequency that we can create into the future. At this time, Mercury will be retrograde. Mercury's retrograde April 1st to the 25th. And Mercury is very close to the new moon, the sun and moon. Mercury's at 24 degrees of Aries, so he's in the mix too. Whenever Mercury is in retrograde, he's asking us to recalibrate, revise, redo, reconsider, rethink, all the RE words. So as this eclipse is happening, we want to honor the position of Mercury by really taking some time to do that recalibrating, rethinking. And this is an amazing and powerful new moon solar eclipse time to think about, what do I need to shift now? Based on what I learned in February from the North Node conjunct Chiron, and what I reflected on throughout March with all of the powerful transits in March. What am I choosing now as I go forward? Now, it's not the time to take action on it, April 1st to 25th. It's the time to get clear and recalibrate your understanding of reality to come into alignment with a new way forward. And then after April 25th, we'll have all planets direct again for at least a couple weeks. And then you can take action. And we will be changed by April 25th because the Jupiter-Uranus is happening, also mid-April, which I'll talk about in a minute. Now, Saturn and Mars are conjunct. This is a more challenging piece of this eclipse. Saturn and Mars will be conjunct at 13 and 14 degrees of Pisces. This is starting a new 2-year Mars and Saturn cycle. And the theme of this is challenging the landscapes of reality. What is real? What is not real? Saturn and Mars in Pisces are going to ask us to really spend some time reflecting on that question. And I think if there's something that happens in the collective, it's going to be around that theme. What is real and what is not real? And what are we choosing? What are we consciously choosing that we want to create as our reality as we go forward. Jupiter and Uranus are nearly conjunct. They're only 2 degrees apart at this point. 19 and 21 degrees of Taurus. Getting very strong with Jupiter and Uranus energy. And then 3 days after this, because keep in mind, Mercury is moving backwards. So Mercury is at 24 degrees of Aries on this eclipse day. 3 days later, Mercury and the Sun will meet at 21 degrees of Aries. And they will be conjunct. So all of this together is a huge amount of concentrated energy. This is going to be a very intense moment. And as I've written here, with the Saturn and Mars together, there's a bit of a danger element, right? So that's why I wrote, there's the potential for great harm or great magic. And the important thing to know about this is we get to choose. So on this day and the days surrounding it, it's going to be really important to focus our energies and our intentions on the positive. This is a day when anything could happen because we have these really favorable energies, and we also have the Saturn and Mars conjunction, which is more difficult. And so we must bring our full consciousness to the question, what do we want and choose to create? Remember, Mercury is supporting us on this. Rethink, redo, revise, recalibrate. What do you really want going forward? Saturn and Mars are helping us with this, challenging the landscapes of reality. What reality are we choosing? This eclipse will powerfully amplify whatever we bring our attention to. And so to kind of summarize all of this, I am saying that this eclipse will bring surprises because Jupiter and Uranus are conjunct, challenges leading to breakthroughs, Saturn and Mars, and healing, new moon with Chiron. Definitely powerful things will be happening on this day. So this is a big one. And then this is like opening the door to Jupiter and Uranus conjunction. So this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction is the biggest transit of the year, 2024. And it is the predominant energy of January to June, the whole first half of this year. And in April, it's just going to be incredibly strong. This is intense. Okay. Everything in April is intense. So get your rest now with Venus and Pisces in March. Rest, really take it slow because it's going to move fast in April. The exact degrees of this are 18 to 24 degrees of Taurus, exact conjunction at 21 degrees. This is an extremely beneficial and optimistic transit. So this is about unexpected leaps forward. This is about taking a risk and landing on your feet. This is about surprising yourself. Jupiter-Uranus conjunctions tend to bring about new innovations, new explorations. Space travel is usually like reaching some new peak of, new developments around this time, Jupiter-Uranus conjunctions throughout history. And this is about revolutionary change in service to higher consciousness and enlightened value systems. Faith and courage, ingenuity, creativity, and the ability to leap off a cliff toward a new and as yet unseen future and land on our feet or grow wings once we jump. Really, like the unexpected miracles. And this transit is so important because this is a new world building transit. This is going to help us let go of our fears, take those big leaps that we need to do, both personally and collectively, into creating a whole new reality. So that April 8th eclipse that's going to invite us to question reality itself and choose what reality we want to build and create from our hearts going forward is essential that it happens before this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, because this is about breaking the mold, breaking all the rules, and taking the action based on what we learned throughout February, March, and early April. So I cannot say this enough. You want to be doing something bold in the first half of 2024. Doesn't have to be in April. Different people will have different timing, but we are all getting an amazing portal opening and an amazing opportunity to do something bold, something daring, something that breaks all the rules that you've held before in your life, right? To go on a wild adventure. Don't let anything hold you back. Jupiter and Uranus say to us, take a risk that you know in your heart is aligned. You are supported now. So let's just place our hands on our heart and take a deep breath in and feel that for a moment. This conjunction really, it is the alchemical prayer. Dear universe, please send me all of the things that I need and most deeply desire that I do not even yet know are possible. That is a perfect description of this transit. So really keeping our eyes closed here for another moment. Really sense into your heart. What is your heart most deeply desiring for your life? Let your heart speak to you. And if you have a clear answer on that, wonderful. And these transits coming up are going to help you get even more clarity on how to move forward, what to do. If you don't have clarity yet, wonderful, because these transits are going to bring you that clarity and these insights and breakthroughs so that you will know what to do. Okay, so we'll go to the coaching in just a moment. I just want to share this Rumi quote. I feel is so beautifully aligned with this transit as well, right? Forget safety, live where you fear to live, destroy your reputation, be notorious. This is the call from the universe right now in April 2024, especially. Be notorious. So I hope you really enjoyed this astrology update. I invite you to really tune into these transits and mark them down on your calendar. Take note when each one is going to happen so that you can be fully infused with all of the powerful energies that they will be bringing. And please tell me in the comments, what did you think of these astrology transits that we have coming up? Do you feel the power of them? They're just so amazing, and they really are bringing us into the radical new world in each of our lives and collectively in the world together as we are building the new world together. And so let me know what you think in the comments. If you have not subscribed to the Sacred Planet YouTube channel yet, please be sure to subscribe. That way it helps me to get this message out to more and more people all around the world. And I'm sending you all so much love, many, many blessings. Have a beautiful, powerful day.